All right, well, let's take a look here. Hopefully, I am going live. Let me mute my computer. All right, well, let's take a look here. Hopefully, I am going feedback. There we go. All right. Well, nobody's watching yet so far. However, we'll get this live going here all the same. You guys can catch the replay. So it has been an interesting week for me here with the Big Blaster Consortium. Have had a couple of successful product launches. Of course, I do have the Battle Strife kit, which I was able to test out in public, and it worked just fine. I got some feedback regarding the barrel shroud. There's going to be a modification done to it. So it's going to be a Mark 1.5, so to speak. And that'll be available soon. Just a quick little change that needs to be done to help to secure the barrel more. That'll be something to look out for, just to let you all know. And the next thing, though, that I wanted to talk to you about is the AccuSaber. Now, y'all saw my review about the AccuSaber before. I don't think I actually got to show the new one, the revised AccuSaber, on screen. Here, this actually is. This was actually a team up of myself through the Josh Franz design, through Franz Filmwork, as well as NXT, that's Nerfer X in Australia. And he actually wanted to get a hold of the AccuSaber in Australia, but didn't want to have to pay for the shipping because it is just so expensive through shipping. And for those of you watching, I want to thank you all for watching. Again, we are now just talking about some of the products that we have in the Big Blaster Consortium. This is actually the AccuSaber revision. And the difference between this one and the original AccuSaber is the original AccuSaber actually had the collet that just removed. That is no longer there. You just actually twist this off. This allows you to place this on the actual on the actual barrel itself, like so. And that fits a wider barrel as opposed to the old ones. And then you literally just slap that in, or well, you would put this on first, and then that just twists up. Did I put that right side? Let me see here. Where's the... I am clumsy today, y'all. Where'd my threading go? Here we go. Okay, yeah. That side. And then that just twists in. And that secures the revised AccuSaber onto the barrel. So this has the same accuracy as before. One of the things I did notice is that the FPS boost is not there. However, I've only tested it with the tighter barrels, which the AccuSaber does not get that FPS boost when you're doing a tighter than a standard 12.9 or 13 milli inner diameter barrel. So if you have like a 12.7, like a Saber barrel or a Vorpal barrel, you're not going to notice an FPS boost because, again, the barrel is tighter than the actual AccuSaber itself. This is made for a 13 milli barrel. Now, that is there. This is available now through the Big Blaster Consortium. This was actually something that was ordered that I need to ship this out. So if he's actually watching, you'll be getting this one soon. This will be going out tomorrow, as well as the spring spacer for the Excalibur that you ordered. The next thing that I wanted to talk about, and this one's actually kind of fun. So before he decided to leave the Franz Filmworks thing, Josh Franz, he actually introduced me to a file set that he had, which was called the Dueling Wands. And that is one that I was curious about because I'm a big sci-fi fantasy geek. And I was like, hey, I go to Ren fairs, and if you have like a foam-based wand blaster, that might be something that you could probably sell at a Ren fair. And so I printed it out, and it's interesting to say the least. It's not your usual thing that you see in the hobby, and I was actually pleasantly surprised because it's a very kinetic activity, and it is fun to use, easy to use, but really hard to master. And that's actually what I'm holding right here. This is actually a dueling wand. Now, this is what's called the Cybermancer wand. There's two sides according to the lore of it, and I'll be able to get more into the lore later on. But the dueling wands are actually made to be used with Mega XL or with standard life darts. Now, the way that this works, you're supposed to be able to put like a Mega Dart or some sort of core in here to like change the color. Basically, it's some sort of fun thing. There's no actual dart in here right now. I may go ahead and actually create an insert for this so you can actually have more vibrant colors and just add more different things. And I'll be able to do AMS work with this. But this is actually a nice little color shifting golden blue filament. So that being there, hey, General Strife, the way that this actually works, for those of you who are Harry Potter fans at all, of course, it's literally swish and flick. So you actually take your dart here, and you just like swish it, and then you just toss that, and that tosses the dart. Now, when you're using a regular dart, it is kind of hard to aim, but it is still fun. Once you actually master it, you know exactly where you're going by just flicking, and the dart just goes that way. Now, it's not going to launch super fast or super far, but you'll get about 30 feet, 30 to 40 FPS at the most out of this, and you can launch it across a room easily. So this is definitely more for like two people to mess around across the room with like little wands and like have little like dueling battles with wands and just toss darts at one another without actually shooting at somebody. So they're very quiet. It's a very fun little activity, and it's a nifty little gimmick. It's very gimmicky. It's very cool. Definitely something you'd see at a Ren Fair, or if you were doing some sort of LARP and you were playing some sort of magic spell casting character, you could do that. The really fun part, though, is when you actually launch the Mega XL darts, because you do flick them and you just see them wobble around in the air and you get that whistling noise, which is really neat. I mean, I can launch this across the room without a problem. And there you go. It does go pretty straight. It's pretty fun. I'm going to be putting these on the store soon because you can get them as a set, you can get them individually. And frankly, it's a really cool little thing. And if you're just laying around the house, or if you have a small child, or if you have a sibling, if you're a younger kid, you can just literally just flick them at each other and not worry about hurting anyone or hurting anything. So yeah, it's a nifty little product that was created by Franz Fulmerk. I have the files for it, and I might be bringing these back. He never really did a wide release or introduce them very much in the hobby because of the fact that they didn't see a market for it at the time. There was a niche market, but I see the potential in this as just like a cool little novelty thing to have. So this is actually the dueling wands, which you'll notice that the name of the stream is Magical Products and More. This was the main one I wanted to focus. Now, of course, there are two different sides. There's the Cybermancers, which is more like a technomantic, magic user. They use technology to create magic. And the lore of the dueling wands is that you go against the naturalists. Those are the ones that use like the earth magics. And it's a different wand design. They both do the same thing. But there's an actual lore book that was supposed to go with the sets. And originally, when you bought one, you actually got two wands that we can actually dueling sides against each other. I just got the one printed out right now, but I just wanted to show it off because, again, it's a really nifty little product. I'm kind of liking the way it looks, and I feel as if there could be a need here for, or I should say, a want for this from certain people, especially with the holidays coming up, for like a fun little gimmicky toy for younger children. Yeah, so that's it. That's the dueling wand. This is the Cybermancer model. The next thing that I wanted to showcase here, and you've probably already seen it on Milo's mods. Let me go grab that really quick. That is the collet for the Brute Pro. So the collet for the Brute Pro, and this is now available on the website. Not too expensive. This actually is a barrel swap collet for the Brute Pro. It is made to fit perfectly in here. You just, I've already removed the actual collet here. You place that in here, slap that in. You go and actually replace the two screws that are here. You put your barrel in like so. I'm going to actually put the nut on here because my barrel is, well, the P-car stuck on my barrel. But you put the barrel in like so. You push that in, and then you just twist this nut in to secure it. And that allows you to put whatever size barrel that you would like. So that is, of course, the 5-inch barrel with the P car. This Brute Pro, you know what? It was nothing but problems for me when I first got it. Dartone finally sent me a replacement, and it actually works the way it should. No longer does the magazine just yank out, so that's good. And it doesn't feel as spongy anymore. The trigger, you can actually fire it, and it does respond. And it doesn't jam up either anymore. So I'm actually kind of happy with this blaster. Now, this is worth the $25. And the P card does fit on the barrel, more importantly. So um, you're going to see my review of the Brute Pro launch here soon. You will see both the negative and the positive because I did make an initial review regarding the Brute Pro when I first received it. This was actually before some of the newer reviewers got it. So this is before Gims Mods, before Milo's Mods did the review. I actually had it in my hands. And those of you who know me and know me into the Gentry chats and whatnot will know that I was very vocal as to the issues that I had with the Brute Pro. But in typical fashion, Dart Zone, they did actually get respond to me when I reached out to their vice president, and they got me a new one. It took a little bit, took about a week to receive it, but I got it, and it works. So there you have it. The Brute Pro, 25 bucks, Walmart's website. Um, you know, it's worth it if you don't want to buy the I call it the Deuce Pro 2.0 or the not the Vortex. What is it called? The Volcanic. Uh, Volcanic, whatever the heck it's called, V word. Point is, if you want a 150 FPS Springer pistol, the Brute Pro, it's a decent option. This one that they sent me, it's nerfed down a little bit. It does not hit the 150 that it promotes on the box, or that it promotes with the P car on it. It does hit it right around when you take the P car off, but when you put the extended barrel on it, you hit 150 with the P car. If you take this P car off with a 5-inch barrel, this is actually a cut up worker Harrier barrel. I was hitting around 170 up to 180 with it. So there you have it. So that's pretty much what I have so far there regarding the products that are coming out of the Big Blast Consortium that are now available. But who wants to see a sneak peek of something that has been cooking that is about to launch? Show of hands in the chat. Waiting for responses in the chat. I don't see any there, but if no one's interested, I won't show it, and that's okay. Oh, I see some kind of reactions there in the chat. What's going on here? You're eating. Oh, hey, no problem, man. I respect that. So for those who are interested, I'm going to show you a quick little sneak peek. Now, I posted a picture of this in the chat that I'm part of, mainly because there was a product that had launched. This is actually a prototype. This is not the final design, but this right here is a desktop cannon, and it is a fun little design here. So this right here, this is actually a prototype. The final version, it's actually being printed out right now. We're in the process of sending those out to a couple of reviewers. And this is going to be a product that we sell on the actual store itself. At first, it's just going to be the physical copies. Eventually, we'll be doing an STL file for it as well. And if you see here, it kind of looks like and well, it is a Micro 2.0 reshell. It has just been converted into a desktop cannon, and this is actually to correlate with the release of the Buccaneer Blaster. We were hoping to actually get this out in market readily available prior to the Buccaneer launch, but that kind of snuck up on us a little faster than we would have wanted. We've been finalizing the designs, getting it done. This is actually designed by somebody else that is a friend of the France Foamworks family. The base itself, though, this piece right here was actually designed by yours truly. This is actually me who did all the cool little etchings here, the brick design and everything on here. That is my own little contribution and design to this. So we will eventually be launching this here soon. You'll see these featured on a couple of different channels. It is going to be a different version. As I said, this is just the prototype. Now, we will be launching these here to be sold on the actual Consortium store, and eventually the plan is to be able to get the STL files for this out to the market as well once we actually sell the physical copies. So it's a fun little gimmicky thing for you to have on your desk. If you work in an office environment or if you work in an IT position, you know that sometimes people have office Nerf wars, and there you go. You can actually just pull back. Let me get this primed. You pull this back. Why is this? Oh, the catch spring is loose. Like I said, it's a prototype. So you're pulling this back, and once it catches, you actually just push this top button, and it launches a dart about 80 FPS. I've forgotten that the catch spring on this one had been loose. I had to fix it. Now this one has been going around my office. Um, we've been showing it off. Of course, I do work with one of the military branches, and everyone thought that it was the coolest little thing. And once they saw how far it could launch, it was pretty impressive. The other thing that's going to be coming with these is a couple of little targets that you can aim at that look like little pirate ships, so you can actually launch those. The pirate ships I will be selling separately. I'll be selling a bundle. I'll be selling pirate chips as like a 3-pack for targets. So those will be used with the other Nerf blasters that you may have. Just fun little targets to shoot at. Now, what I will tell you though regarding those targets is that I have tested them to my usual production quality to be capable of withstanding hits of 150 FPS from 5 feet away. And I tested them using the Pike, which that hits around 140 to 150 FPS. Literally was bullseyeing them from like about 5 feet away. So let me see if I can't open this up and get this fixed really quick so I can do a good demonstration of how this is supposed to work. It's not going to take too long, I hope. Thank you, Jacob. It is really neat, actually. I really do like this thing. It's kind of fun. It's very neat. It's interesting little design here, and I'm really proud of the way this came out. The person who actually came up with the final design, they were guided by Joshua France and myself's feedback as to what we were wanting to do, and they came up with this really cool design. Of course, we perfected some of the things as well independently, so it's actually a collaboration amongst the three of us. But it came out looking really nice, and I'm excited to get it in the hands of the reviewers. I hope that the community in general actually enjoys it, because oh, that's gross. Oh, you're talking about this barrel for rival rounds? So can I? I mean, there is a possibility that's possible. Um, I know that it will launch 50 cal foam balls. So the 50 cal the words are hard. The 50 cal foam balls that were available from Monkey Mods, if you're able to get some of those, you can launch them out of here, and they work pretty well with it. They hit about 70 FPS, 75, so they'll launch across the room for sure. Now, let me just get this screwed in here. Now, what I will tell you is that you can fit an N1 dart in here. I'll actually do a quick little demonstration with it. If you'll let me get a dart, let me go find those real quick. So here's a standard length dart. This is a Max Ruby Pro dart. Now, it's not on the base, but why are you not catching? Why is this not catching? Why is this not catching? Why is it making me look bad on camera right now? This was working just fine a minute ago. Why are you not catching, my friend? Oh, gosh. For some reason, it is not wanting to catch. Now, this could be one of many different reasons. We'll figure it out. it was working. It's worked perfectly fine before. This is definitely probably just a user error right now. Yeah, pretty much. That's right. It is performance anxiety. It's like, oh no, it's my time to be on the big screen. Why am I doing this? Um, I've actually showed this off to several people before. That works, like I said, it works surprisingly well for the power of this thing, for how small it is. The fact that I can get about 80 FPS with a N1 dart in this is impressive for something so small. Now, let's see here. Oh, yep, that would be it. It's still that's stupid spring. Not wanting to catch. I'm wondering if I just need to do a quick little spring swap. Could just be that the catch spring got damaged, and that's okay. That happens. Son of a biscuit. Ugh. As is wont, when you modify a springer, when you launch a catch spring across the room, you're like, you know what? I'm just going to put a new spring in there. Forget it. I'll find it later. Okay, so let's get back to this design. It fits in there like so. There we go. Let's do caddy corner screws. Okay, I have to unscrew this thing again. Hopefully I can show it off and doesn't get complete performance anxiety here. Nope, this is just a catch issue right now. I need to see what happened here. This is really not good. This was in my car for a while, so it's entirely possible that something reacted with the heat. Let's take a look. This is embarrassing. Oh, yeah. That is what happened here. Okay. Well, then, you'll see me get to put one together. I will be right back. All right, so let's just do a quick reassembly here. This should not take very long at all. Just printing out one final version here. This is actually the final production version. It's going to look a little bit different than what the one that I was showing on screen here, only because we made a couple of design tweaks. Come on, get in there. Get in the punk. All right. This should hopefully cache this time. Go. Okay. Gosh, these catch springs are just flying all over the place. There's no room for error in the assembly on this one. That is the only downside to it. There we go. Where is my dart? My testing dart. All right. So basically, you see that doesn't have the little spikes on the side. It's going to have two inserts that you put in here. This is actually what the final design looks like. And it just goes and just fires. So that just pulls back. It's a hard catch on here with this little design. Need to there we go. That pulls back, you load it, and you fire. Now, the important part about this is that you got to make sure that there's no dart in here when you actually pull it back, because the suction on here, it's so tight, it is a pain in the butt. Of course, once you actually gets loaded on the base, it is much easier to load. So it is a much improved catch version. It's just, yeah, This is the much improved catch version. The original catch on the other one just had an issue with it, but this will be launching very shortly. I'd say within the next week on the store. I just wanted to give a quick little sneak preview of it because again, it's a fun little design on it. If one side of the shell had a half cone tooth, that might help, BB. Honestly, that may help itself. Um, One of the things that I find with the design on this one, um, that's hard when it comes to assembly part. It's just that it's so tight with the plunger tube and the spring, and it's because normally there's a draw on it. The sacrifice to get the draw out is the actual half tone, the how tight the plunger tube is with the spring, because there's a little bit of pre-compression there. The only other issue that I have with this particular design, and again, it's unfortunately it's the nature of the pullback because you have that spring compression. It's just how strong the spring is. It really does need a stronger or a bigger pull handle back here. This little ring is a little bit difficult. That may be a revision that I do personally, just to make it a little bit more, I guess, user friendly. Because for an adult, it's fine. But if I want to get this in the hands of a younger kid, they might have a hard time with that. So that's the only issue that I have with it. A Mega XL version for this one. Jesus, AJ. That'll be interesting if I could do a MXL version of it. I could. I have the knowledge to just reshell a big rig and use the mechanics for that to do a Mega XL launcher, but that'll be interesting. You know. So, oh, wait a minute. Well then, um, I just got important news. I can't announce it just yet, but I may have important news coming up here soon. So my tail is wagging right now. You all are seeing a live reaction to a message I just got. I may have to end this live soon because I might just explode with excitement here. Um, yeah, yeah. Uh, Yeah, so this is going to be it. I call it the dueling cannon. It is a Micro 2 reshell. These will be going out to a couple of reviewers here soon. I believe that I'll be sending one of these out to Maritime, to Dr. Flux, as well as to Captain Xavier, so they can promote these. But yeah, little Micro 2 reshell. You pull that out. It's going to be on a little base, which you saw what the base looks like. It's going to have a little peg here, and you can just, fend off those Buccaneer pirates. So, yeah, that is pretty much the products here. A shoulder-mounted version of this would be awesome. I had joked originally with, actually, I should say, I don't want to take credit for this one. Joshua Franz had actually joked about a armband with several of these on it, so you could just fire them off like a ship cannon, back to back to back to back. That would actually be really fun. And yeah, what I will show you though, because I have these somewhere. These were the ones that I designed. Here they are. These are actually made to go with this. It's a little pirate ship. You're supposed to fire it with the cannon. So that was actually my own little design and print as well. And all in all, I'm pretty happy with the way this product's going to look. Now, the end game with this, to be perfectly honest with you, we will be selling these, through my store, just for like little desktops, toys, and accessories. The ultimate goal, though, is to sell a 2-pack of them with a set of targets, or even some walls, like modular walls that you can construct. So it could be a kids game or a tabletop game for people to play, where you're supposed to destroy each other's defenses or ramparts using the actual cannons. Thank you, Builder. I appreciate that. Yeah, this target, oddly enough, it's I'll show you the way it is. I have no problem showing this. This literally comes off in two pieces. So you print one side, you print the other side, slap it like that, and it just, it stands on its own. I'm trying not to shake my hand. And this one's actually in PLA, which I will tell you, there's one thing I'll show you right now, by the way. That flaking right there, that singular layer, that's not going to be in the final product. That was a test filament that I used. This was testing with the PLA from Hobby Lobby, which is not the greatest. The white PLA from Hobby Lobby, not so much. Speaking of filaments, for those of you who have 3D printing right now, 3D printers, I just mentioned the Hobby Lobby filaments. They are inexpensive. They're okay if you're doing a solid build. But the moment that you do AMS work on it, try to stay away. That's just my humble recommendation. Now, when it comes to, there's another filament that's been released recently, which is also a lower cost filament that uses a brand name for marketing. Creality has a Soylent, I believe is what the name of their little off-brand, Soylent by Creality. It is a bargain filament. I can't recommend it. I can't. I should have watched a video that Lidl made. Bruce Lee. He had built something with Creality filament, and he got released this video right around the same time that I experimented with it, and we both came to the same conclusion: is that this filament's garbage. It flakes. It's not very good. When I got some, it was so bad. Like PLA, I had to like stick it in a dryer for 10 hours and it still wouldn't print. I literally ended up returning an open box of filament, which is something I never do. So if you do have a 3D printer, just stay away from Soylent. It's very tempting because the price is right, but the performance is not. So yeah, my favorite actually, when it comes to the quote unquote bargain PLAs, I'm a big fan of Sunlu and of eSun. eSun, I've never had a problem with. I mean, yeah, I've never had a problem with eSun or Sunlu. When it comes to Pet Gs, I'm really digging Flash Forges. Their metallic Pet Gs are fantastic. In fact, this is actually the metallic Pet G from Flash Forge. This is also the metallic Pet G from Flash Forge. This was actually one of the original prototypes. This is the older design of this, which I actually disassembled to create this one. So there you have it. So it is now time for Foam After Dark, y'all. At least I hope that Foam After Dark is going to be going on here soon. So I'm going to hop off here, and I will see you all over on Bots and Blasters channel. I want to thank you all, and again, these will be on the store. We already have the Brew Pro collet. I want to say this was like around $6 or $7. I'll probably eventually release the file for that. And just to let you know, it is a 5-inch barrel. These will be available to purchase once these launch, and we'll be actually doing a couple of different packs. I'll be launching this as a additional, so you can buy more targets, and then of course this will be sold separately. So there you have it. Hey, not a problem. Hey, Jacob, thank you for watching, y'all. So until next time, y'all, keep on blasting.